So, you're thinking of moving to Denver but aren't sure where to start when it comes to finding the best school for your kids. I found the education expert in the Denver area to help you navigate. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Ryan Haarer, Denver Realtor here. Today I'm interviewing education consultant Jen Rigsby. Jen helps families all over the Front Range find the schools that best suit their needs. She makes regular visits to schools across the region to stay updated on their programs and offerings, and she keeps her teaching license current to stay up to date on the latest curriculum. Will you just explain to folks who you are, what you do, and how you help people?
Yeah, I used to be a classroom teacher. I taught at some of the top private and public schools. I ended my career for as a teacher, as the number one teacher for every grade I taught based on student growth. And now I have a super niche position and I'm an educational consultant. And at the base of my job, which I love, is that I help families find the best school for their child.
Great. And so what does it look like to work with you? Because in my world, people come in from out of town. They're not really sure about the school system. I'm certainly not an expert like you are. So if they were to hire you, work with you, what would that look like?
Well, I'm in school. First of all, I'm in schools every single day. I'm in two schools later today, even though it's the end of the school year. And I've worked with over 3,500 clients. I'm 100% referral based. And so, with families relocating to Denver, as they start looking at schools, I'm sure they get overwhelmed because it's a proven statistic that Colorado has the most complicated school system in the entire country. Hence why I have a job. And so when I work with families, what it would look like, and most families only sign on for 2 hours. And they fill out a questionnaire, give me all the meat and potatoes about their kids, how much they want to spend on homes, what are their deal breakers, if their kids have learning differences, anything like that. And also kind of lifestyle they want. Do they want to be in the city, in the mountains? And then we hop on and we discuss all the short-term and long-term options within the various school districts that would align with their family's needs. And then we would identify, where they could move, have great public, or if they want to go private, what that would look like as well.
Great. You just mentioned it's a complicated system. Can you give us kind of a broad overview of the school system, public, private, all the options available in the Denver metro area? And I know that's a big question, but give it a shot.
Let me get a flow chart for you. Okay, so here's the deal. Colorado, like I said earlier, like a second ago, has the most complicated school system. And in most school districts, and I handle all the way from at the base of Douglas County and Castle Pines up to the very tip of Boulder. Basically, you have neighborhood schools where you can move in and be zoned for automatically, right? Like that you move in a month before school, you're zoned for it. In certain parts of Denver, Denver proper, Denver public schools, that's not the case. And you go into a lottery. Colorado also has an extensive charter network. And what that means is that you have to lotto into it. So it's a choice process. And each school district runs their choice process very differently. They have different dates as well. Colorado also has magnet programs, which are schools that you essentially audition for. So, like Denver School of the Arts, or a gifted and talented magnet program, or a STEM program, or some schools even have magnet programs within it, like a computer program or engineering. So we have a lot of different schools, but what I really focus on with families is yes, you need to move and get a neighborhood school first, and then we talk about the various charter options because some charter schools have legit a 7 year wait list or 800 kids on the wait list as well. So I really give families, what are the reasonable and realistic options that they can pick from. And then when it comes to private schools, we do have a lot of private schools, but we are actually limited on independent private schools, which are ones that aren't have a faith affiliation. So I talk to the families about, which schools would be best fit for their kids. And also though, what are the backups public? Because our private schools are incredibly competitive to get into, you always want to have a public backup.
Yeah, interesting. And so talk to me about some of the differences between the curriculums in private, charter, and public. I mean, when a new family comes into town and they see all of what you've just presented and they want to pick one of those three lanes, how can you walk them through that process? What are they really talking about in terms of what their child is learning?
Well, I think it's all about best fit, and there are a bunch of different types of curriculum used in the in Colorado and Denver, and it's really about what aligns with your family needs. I mean, most neighborhood schools, public schools, they use the same curriculum. It's the charter schools that have the freedom to pick their own curriculum, and so that's where you really see the variance. But once again, it's about what is best fit. Like, I love me some Montessori school, but my daughter, it would not be a good fit. She'd be playing with beads all day. Like, she would never be like, hey, I want to learn about phonics. So it's really about finding what philosophy aligns with your family needs and also like the long-term ramifications of it. I mean, obviously private schools, you're paying for it. I mean, they have bells and whistles. I mean, I go into some private schools, I'm just like blown away. Like, I want to be in school again. But it's also about what are your options? And there are public schools that do have similar programs, but you're at the mercy of a lotto.
Talk to me about how parents should interpret, and you can see my light is no longer working. We'll give up on that. How should parents interpret school rankings that they see online? There are all kinds of resources on the
Oh,
internet, but it's like A plus, A minus, C plus, and it varies widely, but even within a district. So how do you as a professional interpret those and talk to people about what they're saying?
yeah. So here's the deal. In Colorado, you can't use grade schools or niche. An MIT professor just released this huge paper about basically how Denver is completely inaccurate on grade schools. First of all, when I'm looking at data, I always use the Colorado Department of Education. But then I also meet with school district officials. As I mentioned, I'm in schools every single day. And so really to me, it's about giving families the information they can't glean from a website. I mean, my own daughter goes to a school that's like, I think, ranked 3 out of 10, and it's amazing. And I think once again, though, it's about fit. And just because something might rank lower on a wonky website doesn't mean it's a bad school. And it's really about finding like your community and what you're looking for within a school system. I mean, the grade schools and niche, they use so much subjective data in comparison to like the Colorado Department of Education that is completely objective.
Along this same line, what are some mistakes, missteps that you see parents make or think parents might be making, when they're coming into the state and looking for a school? Is there something to avoid?
Well, I think first you have to have the knowledge. Like, if you're moving into a school system and you see, first of all, like there's this amazing charter, innovation, or option school, you're like, oh, this is where my kid's gonna go. No, sorry, you're most likely not, because the lotteries for these schools start almost like 8, 9 months the year before. So the chances of getting in are really slim. So that's the first thing. The other thing is parents, and I fall to this too. Don't go on those Facebook pages for the like school websites or things like that, because people love to complain. Really, you have to think about what a school is giving you and the joy and the community, and check it out for yourself and go on tours, which actually is something to mention to people relocating because of Colorado's history with violence and whatnot, which is, part of who we are. Getting tours is really difficult. And so they really only offer them in the fall, which is part of the lotto window, if that makes sense.
Hmm. Okay, so, and I was just going to say, what are kind of some of the first steps beyond speaking with somebody like you, going on tours, getting to know in person who their teachers might be, and along with answering that question, how far in advance should they start this process?
You should start it the year before. So if your child's going to kindergarten next fall, you should start the fall before, because the lottos happen depending on the school district. Like Douglas County happens in December. Denver is usually end of February, and then the other school districts are in between. And so school districts really historically only offer tours in that like fall window.
Hmm. Okay, so start there. Besides touring, can people during those times actually meet with who the teacher is going to be? I mean,
Mm.
like what else can they do besides walking around campus and talking with an administrator?
I think what's really powerful is you can contact the school, and I always think it's cool to ask to like have the PTA president's contact information, and then they'll tell and they're always welcome and willing to tell you more about the schools, the bells and whistles, the after school enrichment, kind of more about what the school community is about.
Yeah, this is kind of my last thought for you, Jen. We've talked a lot about some of the struggles and challenges with finding the right school. Let's end on a positive note because there are so many awesome schools in Colorado.
So many.
What should parents be looking forward to for their kids in terms of what education provides here?
I'm not from Colorado. I'm originally from Chicago, and I think the schools, and I've been here for 20 years. I bought a long time ago, so unlike these people, I'm really lucky. Um, I live in the city. I think they should be excited about the joy and the options that our schools have to offer due to the, depending upon where you live, we have a lot of proximity to the outdoors. So we have experiential learning, outdoor education. And also, I just feel like people in Colorado, I mean, I worked, like I said, with over 3,500 families. The people moving here are awesome. Like they want this lifestyle, and our schools kind of represent that. And I think that parents get so stressed about their kids' school. Your kids are going to be okay because they have you as parents. Like you're always going to advocate for them. You're always going to help them be happy. And finding a great school is easy when you have the information.
Great. That's awesome, Jen. I really appreciate you doing this. I hope a lot of people find it helpful. Anything else I missed?
No, welcome to Colorado. Like it's such a great place to raise kids. Like I'm not even earthy. And there is so much to do and so much fun. And like I said, I'm in schools every day and I see so many happy, fun kids. And it's just a great place.
Thanks so much for watching, and a big thanks to Jen for taking the time to speak with me. If you'd like to connect with Jen, you can find her information in the description below. And if I can be of any help buying or selling a home in the Denver metro area, find my phone number down below as well. We'll see you next time.